Hello there, Price of Reason here with a bonus movie review. So this week I had a chance to watch an advanced screening of the movie Unsung Hero, a real-life story about the Smallbone family that came from Australia to the United States in the early 1990s. And eventually, some of their children would become well-known musicians, mainly in the Christian music scene. Whether it be Rebecca St. James or Joel and Luke Smallbone from the band For King and Country, if we're being honest, these aren't artists that I actually listen to or are very familiar with for that matter. Although I've heard their names before. For me though, I just enjoy seeing new movies and reviewing them, regardless of their genre. And since I've already seen Unsung Hero, I figured I'd share my thoughts about it. The movie basically tells the story of the Smallbones, an Australian family living in Australia, after the father, David Smallbone, who's a concert promoter, loses all of his money during an economic recession. He finds himself in a real crisis. With a pregnant wife and 6 kids, David brings his family to the United States with the understanding that he would have a job there. But when things don't pan out, the Smallbone family find themselves struggling financially and resorting to odd jobs just to keep their family afloat, often with the charitable help of their local community. Eventually, their daughter Rebecca, who's a talented singer-songwriter, decides that she wants to become a recording artist, and the Smallbones finally find a path forward for their family, with David Smallbone helping his daughter launch a musical career. Let's start with what I liked about the movie. These days, we see so many Hollywood movies with massive budgets for cast and visual effects, and they end up being so poorly written. So it's nice to see a small movie like Unsung Hero with a budget of $6 million that does actually put some kind of emphasis and thought into its storytelling and character development. The movie has a clear goal to show you the struggles that the Smallbones faced and how they overcame it, and for the most part, I think that the screenplay does accomplish this goal overall. In addition, I think that the main cast in this movie does a pretty good job. Daisy Betts does a good job as Helen, the matriarch of the family. Kirrilee Berger does a solid job as a young Rebecca St. James, and interestingly, I was especially impressed with the acting of singer Joel Smallbone, who plays his real-life father David Smallbone in the movie. Joel also co-wrote and co-directed the movie with his brother Luke producing. The movie aims to be inspiring and uplifting, delivering a positive message about parenthood, family, and family values, and I think it's certainly effective in that aspect. I also like that while some might consider it a faith-based or Christian movie, I think that it is presented in a way that could be appreciated by anybody, regardless of their religious beliefs. After all, the story of a family overcoming tough times is a rather universal one. With that being said, I wouldn't say that the movie is perfect. While I think that the first act of the movie properly establishes the story and the challenges the family faces, and that the third act of the movie is pretty good at showing how they're finally able to get back on their feet, I think that the second act tries to juggle a few different ideas around that don't always come together in the best possible way. Between the father finally recognizing his role in the family, the mother holding the family together, and Rebecca wanting to become an artist, I feel like the movie sometimes struggles tonally, as it wants to show us tough times while also aiming to be uplifting and inspirational. Perhaps for people who are already familiar with the Smallbones family story and with Rebecca St. James' career, this movie is a bit more effective, but since I had no prior knowledge, I think that some things could have been perhaps presented in a better way, especially in the second act. But it doesn't spoil the movie or anything, and I still think that the writing is serviceable enough overall. And again, considering the almost non-existent budget this movie had to work with, it's hard not to appreciate the final product looking and feeling as professional as it does. Seeing a movie like this proves that movies are more than just flashy effects and franchises, that you can still capture an audience's attention and imagination if you care enough about telling a specific story. When I see movies like Unsung Heroes getting made, it gives me hope that perhaps cinema can still find a way to thrive even in the times we're living in, that movie studios can still do something different and original and not lose money in the process. And this applies to any genre or niche. Well, I don't really know a lot about Joel or Luke Smallbone. I can't deny that this seems like a personal story that they wanted to tell, and that they actually put some care and thought into the project, and I do appreciate that. If I had to give this movie a score, I would say that it's a 72 out of 100. That means it isn't perfect, but at the same time, I still had a pretty good time watching it. If you enjoyed this review, please make sure to like, subscribe, or follow, as it really would help this channel. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thank you, and good day!